And it goes a little something like.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Ashley and I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Today is kind of going to be like a very informative video because everybody's been wanting to know how I priced my products and like how I came up with the pricing based on like my location and everything. So that is everything that I'm going to be going over in today's video. I took notes so that I could actually like cover everything and make sure I don't forget anything. But for starters, I wanted to first go over my pricing with you guys so that you guys actually know my pricing. We'll be going over each category and how much I charge for each category. So for starters, for my facials, I have 7 facials, and my custom signature facial, I kind of don't like love this facial. I don't do this facial very often, but I do charge $60 for my custom facial. I charge $70 for an enzyme. I charge $75 for an LED. I charge $70 for microdermabrasion. I charge $80 for a microdermabrasion enzyme. So it's like the enzyme is in the microderm. Like it's like in one facial. I have an enzyme first and then I do the microderm. I have an ultimate 90-minute facial. That one is $90. And I have chemical peels which range between $100 and $125. And then for my waxing, for my brow waxes, I charge $15. For my brow wax and tints, I charge $27. For my lip and brow wax, I charge $20. Nose is $8. Underarm is $25. Half arm is $25. Full arm is $45. Half leg is $45. Full leg is $65. My Brazilians are $55 and my bikinis are $25. So basically that's like the main thing. My makeup applications, by the way, are $75. Bridal trials are $100. And then bridal day of is like a whole nother ball game, which I'm not even going to get into. But so that is my categories on here. I have lashes on here, but I don't do lashes anymore. Kylie did those for me, my employee. And she doesn't work for me anymore. She has her own business, so she does. I just send her all my lash people who want lashes. Into like the actual how I came up with my pricing, why I chose what pricing I chose. Now also keep in mind that I've been in business for 3 years, and my custom signature facials 3 years ago were $50 and my enzyme facials were $55. So within 3 years my enzyme facial has gone up $15. My custom signature has just gone up $10. I don't do that one that often, so I'm not like focused on that one as much. I've also added facials since I once opened. I added the LED light. I added the ultimate. I think I had the rest. Okay, so for coming up with your prices, the first thing you need to think about is your location and what is an appropriately priced thing for your location. So for example, I am 40-ish minutes from downtown Chicago, which is where you can charge the absolute most because that's a large city. They charge, like one of my clients said she got a facial in Michigan Avenue, which is a huge street in Chicago, downtown Chicago, very like bougie, I guess you can say. And she said she charged, or they charged her $400 for a facial. Okay, I don't have the right to do that in the surrounding city that I live in. But basically what you have to do is find the city that you want to work out of, look at all the spas in the area, look at what solo estheticians are charging, and just kind of base it off that. So, and you kind of have to like work your market too. So like I just said, I can't charge $400 for a facial because people who live in the suburbs of Chicago, maybe they will, but usually they're not going to spend $400 on a facial, and if they are, they're going to go to like a top-end super bougie salon that gives you champagne and rubs your feet in Chicago, because that's what she said they do. They like rub your feet during the facial. I was like, I don't rub feet during my facial. Like they have 2 workers working at the same time, rubbing your feet and doing your facial. So like I don't do that. And so I'm like, if I'm not going to be obviously providing services like that, you have to look at what people who are going to provide what you're going to provide, what they charge. And so what I did was to be a little strategic, which is totally up to you, but this is what I decided to do. Took what everybody was charging, 80, 90, like all those prices, and I said I want to be $5 to $10 lower than like a nice salon in like the town I'm in, the surrounding cities that I'm in, so that honestly I had, one, I'm more marketable because I'm new. Nobody knows who I am. I couldn't charge like this crazy amount. But also what I'm getting at is I always want to be a little lower than like what salons are charging, because I would rather have more clients and be a little cheaper than charge like 100 to 150 but then have half the clientele, and I feel like there's more flow of people coming in and out. But yeah, so that's kind of what I based it on. But you also have to know cost, profit, markup, and profit margin. And I was watching a video on how they priced their like retail, because I just started doing retail, by the way. This is one of my crew necks. It's a skin therapist. I will link everything down below. But anyway, so I was like watching her, and this was actually something she said which was really important, and it's like the 5 categories you have to think about, or 4 categories I guess you have to think about when you are coming up with your pricing. So for example, you have to think about your cost. How much does it actually cost you to do that service? And that is key, because you have to, not only as service providers, as estheticians, we need to think about the cost, but then we also need to think about our time as well, and our time is included in the service price. And so it's not the most expensive thing to do a facial or to do a brow wax, but people are paying for what you believe that you are worth. So that is important to keep in mind, but it is important to think about the cost versus what I'm going to get into now, which is the profit, and that is how much you want to make minus the actual cost. The fact that there is so much math that goes into like pricing your services, and I did a little of it. I hate math. I'm not very good at it. Like I'm good at percentages quickly because I worked retail my whole life, whatever. But I wanted, consider your costs. You have to consider your market. You have to add in what you believe your value is worth. Your profit margin that equals basically all of that combined. So like if it costs $7 to make a facial and you believe your time is worth this, then that's how much you're gonna make. So like for example, my rent is $850 a month. Okay, in order to make my rent plus a standard income, I need to charge this much and do this many facials to even make money. So if I charge $70 per facial, let's do some math, okay? You have to see if you have the amount of clients and if it makes sense with your like schedule and everything. So my rent is $850. Okay, I charge, let's say, $70 per facial. I need to do like 30 facials a month, which seems like a lot, but that's also if I did strictly $70 facials. I do lots of brow waxes throughout the month, which is 15, 15, 27, 27, like throughout the month, obviously, which adds up too. But that's like how you kind of like determine your starting point. So if you charge $100 a facial, then you need to do at least, what is that, 8.5 facials to at least cover your rent. So like for example, I needed to do 12 facials to at least cover my rent. So at least I have like a starting point, like, okay, can I do 12 facials? Can I make money? That is making zero profit, by the way, but I'm just saying you have to include everything, calculate that cost, calculate that math cost, make it make sense with your income, make sure you have a good enough income to live off of, which is complicated to think about. But as much as you want to go off of all of these things like cost and profit, it's really hard when it comes to services to go off that. It's more so what you believe your time is worth, because with services you don't have as much cost. It's more, like I was saying, your time. So you do have to look around and see what other people are charging, and obviously if they're making it work with that, then you can make it work with that. But it kind of brings me into my last point, which you have to be careful with when you are coming up with prices, is don't undersell yourself, but don't oversell yourself. Because I feel like in the beginning of my business, I did undersell myself a little bit. I was really cheap. I did a lot of discounts. I did a lot of percentages off. And I realized that what I was starting to get a few of is bargain shoppers, and I do not want my clientele to be based on people who only come to me if I have a sale going on. And I think I realized slowly that that isn't working for me, and so I dialed a little bit back on the discounts and I raised my pricing a little bit. I did $5 every year. It's been 3 years. I didn't do $5 on everything, but I did do $5 on like a few things, like my facials. My brow wax has gone up $5 in 3 years, so it's gone up like $1.50 each year. But I did undersell myself, and I feel like I lost a lot of clientele that way. You'll get like one clientele, or you'll get like one client and they'll be like, yeah, I came because you're doing 30% off, and then they never come back once you like go back up to full price. But yeah, I just wanted to like throw that in there because it is really like important to choose your prices and make it make sense with what you're doing. So yeah, I think that's like basically everything. It's hard to talk about pricing. I can tell you what I did, but I'm not like in every single state, in every single city. Everybody's gonna charge different. California's gonna have different prices than Illinois, New York, etc. But this is like what I charge for living 45 minutes outside a major city, which is Chicago. And I hope it was helpful for you guys, and like I hope it was some information on how much I charge. I know everyone just kind of wants to know how much I actually charge too, so I did obviously say that. I hope it is helpful for you guys, and I hope you guys liked this video. If you do, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. It helps me a lot. I appreciate everybody who has been subscribing to me so far. I have like 1,700, which is crazy to me, but I appreciate all of you guys, and we'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.